news after heavy rain overnight. Good Wednesday evening, everyone, and welcome to Western Mass News at 5. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Abby Carnevale. Because of that, we begin tonight with team coverage and flooding in some areas. Glenn Kittle is standing by in Westfield, and meteorologist Jenna Brown has what we can expect tonight and, of course, the rest of the week. But we begin with a nightmare on Olivine Street in Chicopee. We're hearing from one resident who even gave us a glimpse of the flooding damage to his home. Western Mass News reporter Wesley Days is live in Chicopee tonight for us with more details. And Wesley, it was left such just physical but also emotional damage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But before I get to that, let's start with a good news update, shall we? We were just inside the Figueroa home, which is behind me here, and we were able to go back downstairs inside that home and saw that that water is draining from their basement. Now, a year ago, the Figueroa family actually held a wedding in their backyard. They actually put some of that stuff from that wedding into their basement. Now, after last night's flooding, those special effects were washed away.
Panic made me look at the basement, and that's when I noticed the basement's flooded. There was no hope for us at all. We couldn't even get out.
It was an early Wednesday morning surprise for Chicopee's Carlos Figueroa. Hours into Tuesday's rainstorm that battered most of Western Mass came heavy flooding, tearing through his basement and turning his neighborhood on Olivine Street into a small river.
We know that this comes from upside the street because of the railroad tracks and the water feeding from 391, so that's where the water is coming from. We know that for a fact. We learned that from the city this morning about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Figueroa's backyard still not clear. Puddles are still popping up where grass should be.
I couldn't even see the rims to my car. When I came out here, I couldn't see the rims. Yeah, it was just unspeakable. Something that you would never expect to happen in your property.
He highlights another culprit that could be causing the flooding.
We don't got enough draining here. We only got 2 drains for a whole street, and once them things get clogged, that's when we have problems here. And that happened about 2 years ago, and it's the second time now. We don't want it to happen the third time.
Yeah, and Carlos adds tonight that if he could, there would be more drains on the street if he had the power to put them there. Now, coming up tonight at 6, we're turning our attention to Springfield, where we sat down with Mayor Dominic Sarno about Springfield's DPW crews, how they handled this week's winter weather, plus with the possibility of more snow and winter weather on the way early next week. What are they doing to make sure that the roads are clearer than they were earlier this week? Plus, Chris and Jana, Mayor Sarno had some words for you. We'll get to that at 6 o'clock tonight. Reporting live in Chicopee, Wesley Days, Western Mass News.